All right, Gunnery Sgt, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Gunnery Sgt Trotta.
And can you please spell your full name?
Sure, R-A-L-P-H-T-R-O-T-T-A.
What's your middle initial?
J.
And what's your current job?
I'm the Operations Chief for 2nd Battalion, 23rd Marines.
What's your hometown?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
And you are currently on active duty?
I am.
What's the newspaper that services your hometown?
The Las Vegas Review-Journal.
All right, so I understand that you're an active duty Marine on instructor and inspector duty here with the Reserve Unit. Can you tell me some of the insights you've gained on training Reserve Marines? Kind of some of the challenges of trying to get all these guys together?
The real challenge for us on inspector instructor duty is to ensure that we're giving everything that we have to our reserve counterpart. These Marines come from all walks of life. You know, they have a career that puts food on the table for their families Monday through Friday, 28 days out of the month. And then they give up their weekends to come in here and participate and be part of the Marine Corps. So making sure that we're doing everything that we can to keep them focused and get them trained in the short time span that they have, because they have the same training requirements that an active duty component Marine has.
And can you kind of discuss some of those advantages of having a reserve unit? Earlier, some of the leadership has said that you have many Marines who are highly educated, who have sophisticated careers. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you're right on point. I mean, in everything that they talked about, a lot of these Marines have already graduated from college. They already have their bachelor's degree. They're working on their master's degree, or they're currently in college working on their bachelor's degree. You know, with the active duty component, your average lance corporal or corporal is fresh out of high school and is working his way up through the ranks on active duty in the Marine Corps. With the reserves, that's not the case. These Marines, you know, again, they have 28 days out of the month where they're civilians and they have to make the most of their life. And then they come in that 1 week in a month and the 2 weeks a year, and they train hard to be Marines and to fulfill their job. So when they take it upon themselves to get their higher education and to get the advanced learning or even have a sophisticated job, it excels our unit leaps and bounds because we have so much outside influence on things that we're able to do.
Let's talk about Dawn Blitz a little bit. You've got a lot of units here, international coalition, doing some training. How unique is this opportunity for the Marines of 223?
I think it's a great opportunity for 223. A lot of these Marines, we're spread out all over the Southwest region. Typically when these Marines come in for a drill weekend or for their AT, they generally only work with each other. So they see the Marines of their unit. Very seldom do they ever even see the Marines of their whole battalion unless the battalion gets together. So now they have a very unique opportunity to come together as a battalion, to fight as a battalion, and to work their defensive skills and fight against a very ready, very trained active duty component infantry battalion in 2-5 with some of those coalition forces right alongside them. So it's absolutely awesome.
So they'll be doing some force-on-force training against a live reacting opponent. What's the advantage of having that kind of opponent who actually adjusts, has a human element to them?
Well, the biggest trick for us is that we're fighting ourselves. We're United States Marine infantrymen fighting United States Marine infantrymen. So we understand each other's tactics. We understand what we train to. So being able to outsmart 2-5, if we're able to do that and outthink our enemy, which technically is other infantry Marines, then we'll seize the advantage and we'll be able to stop their advance, and that's exactly what we're looking for.
Also, does having a live opponent make things more exciting for the Marines participating?
Oh, it always does. Setting up in the defense and not having anybody not watching anybody come up that avenue of approach, not seeing anybody that's actually going to test your lines, and just focusing on the defense. It's great training, it's extremely valuable, but there's always a human effect, and there's always that extra reality that you add to it when you add another man that's coming towards you that's testing your lines. So it's definitely good for them.
Now, are your Marines having fun preparing for that?
These Marines are on top of the world right now. Most of these Marines are like I said, we're spread out all over the Southwest region. We have Marines from Salt Lake City. Some of those Marines that are from that unit have never even seen the beach before. So being down here in Southern California, you know, the great weather. We have Marines from Las Vegas. It's 114 degrees there right now. They're eating it up.
So earlier you mentioned that active duty Marines have a career to fall back on, and that Reserve Marines did not have that. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Well, it's like I was saying, with the active duty component, once they go through boot camp and they continue on with their specialized schools, they check into the Fleet Marine Force, and that is their job 7 days a week. With the reserve component, that's not the case. These Marines are going to go through boot camp, they'll go to their specialized schools, and they go back home. And their obligation to the Marine Corps is 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. So for them to step away from the career that puts food on their tables for their families and give up their time to come and participate and make themselves better at their careers or at their skill set in the Marine Corps, it just speaks leaps and bounds to the type of quality of Marine that we have here in the unit.
Were you surprised at all by what you saw when you arrived here?
It was definitely an interesting beast for me. I've never worked with the reserve component before, so coming here on instructor duty and seeing the quality of Marine, even though these Marines only get about 38 training days a year, the quality, the proficiency, and the tenacity of these infantry Marines rivals any active duty infantry battalion that I've been part of.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
Just happy to be here.